Welcome back, everybody, to JomezPro's coverage of the United States Women's Disc Golf Championship. This is the final round of the final major of the year. Shout out to the PDGA and the JomezPro Patreons for this coverage, making it possible. My name is Paige Pierce.
And I'm Zoe Andyke, excited to commentate on this exciting final round. First up, we have Paige Pierce. She's at 11 down, 47% birdie rate, so that's looking pretty good. And second on the card, Kristin Tattar. She's also tied for first place at 11 down. And as you can see, 39% birdie rate, also very good.
Next up, we got Paige Bjerkaas, tied for third at 6 under par, 78% scramble rate. And Catrina Allen rounds out our lead card, tied for third as well, 6 under, and she's parked 17% of her holes. Both of these players carding great scores to jump up to the lead card this final day.
Starting it off with hole 1, par 3. It's 243 feet. Not that far away. However, just look how guarded the basket actually is, forcing a player to throw an extreme hyzer, whether it's right-handed, left-handed, sidearm, or backhand. Just don't go too deep. You would find yourself in the rough.
Teeing first, from Estonia, Kristin Tattar.
And as we can see, Kristin will be leading off the card, coming in with the hot score at Hawks Hollow yesterday. Again, this is going to be so exciting. I can't even wait to see how these holes go. These ladies are tied, and it is a battle.
Yeah, and whoever wins this tournament gets qualified for the USWDGC in 2 weeks in Winthrop. And this is pretty prestigious to get that chance. So it's really awesome to compete not only for this major title, but for that spot.
And Kristin parking hole 1, giving it a little bit of an ace run there. Good start.
Yeah, it almost hit the pole.
Yeah. Paige is lining up her sidearms, sticking with the game plan that we saw on Friday's round. Looks like it was just a little bit low of a release. Thankfully, she put a lot of spin on it, got a little bit of forward action. She's going to be left outside of the circle with
Catrina
a bit of a
Allen.
downhill putt. Catrina definitely happy to be making that lead card on the final day here. Also shooting a very hot round at Hawks Hollow yesterday.
She's grabbing her A2 here, overstable, in between a putter and a mid-range. Good little utility disc. It's going to go wide with this.
And landing it just... Man.
Wow.
A little bit of a roll away there. Certainly still inside of the circle. Looks to be about a 20-footer, maybe a little more. Not too bad. And rounding out our card, Paige Bjerkaas.
Yeah, she's getting married soon. It's good to see her back on the lead card. This is her first big tournament that she's even competed in a while. So it's good to see her not only playing, but making an appearance on the lead card.
Definitely. Looks like that one goes a little bit deep. She's starting off strong. And 58 feet to the pin here for Paige Pierce. Gave it a good run. Just came up a little bit short on the putt there, so she'll be the next to come back. Wow. I have to say, for it going that far past the basket and having a little bit of obstructed, look at this. Beautiful comeback putt. Nothing's going to take this away from Paige. She's determined. Great par.
Yeah, I knew I could not start off with a bogey, and especially on a hole that's 243 feet. I was very, very determined to hit that putt.
For the birdie. And nice and smooth. Kat's looking like she's in good rhythm here. It's always good to start off with that, too.
And it looks like she's using a new putter.
Oh.
Yeah, at least a fresh one. Probably still putting with the PA1 like she loves, but it looks like a fresh pinky.
A birdie, too, for Paige Bjerkaas there. Great start as well. And Kristin Tattar.
I can't believe that Paige has her hair down. It's 90 degrees out here.
I've seen Bjerkaas make that hair choice a few times when it just makes me think, wow, that's making it at least 10 degrees hotter. Moving on to hole 2. It's a par 4, 595 feet. You can't see the basket as we saw on Friday's coverage. It's a blind hole coming out of the woods and a lot of elevation loss to the elevation gain. It actually ends up being uphill on your second shot. You don't want to go deep. There's quite a bit of trees and obstructed putts there.
Kristin looks like she's changing her game plan from Friday. She's going with the St. Pro today.
Wow, and gets quite a bit of turnover action on that. She knows her disc so well.
And again, finding herself straight out of the gap. She didn't quite get the turn and get the pushing the green, but she's going to be pin high on the left side, looking at a straight shot uphill.
And Kat opting for the roller play, which I know throughout this tournament she's got a couple of holes that she's throwing a roller and giving her, quite a bit of distance versus her air shot.
Yeah, and listen to that crowd. They loved it. We
it.
Can't see the basket from the tee, so she's like, I think it was good, and the crowd obviously approved.
Mm-hmm. That's a good feeling. Paige Bjerkaas airing it out with the nice Anheuser, getting the full flight, and, I'm sure she's happy with that drive. It's a good landing zone there. Paige is checking out her angles. I just love JomezPro's camera work here. You can certainly see the determination in each one of the players' faces, and I love being able to see that right before you guys tee off. Paige, boom, blasting out a huge air shot here. Most girls are trying to get there in 2 shots, actually. Great distance.
Thank you. Yeah, good angle on that one. The higher you throw it, the more angle you got to give it. So
that's a good pro tip. And Bjerkaas looking to get in the circle here. Skidding around, getting some nice little tree love there, and she's got a putt for the birdie.
Looking at a good start if she can hit that one. Birdie, birdie. It's a good feeling. Final round of a major.
A little bit of an early release there to go into the woods for Kristin. I think that is inside of the circle, though, and her putting is hot.
Yeah, and it's actually even better than she was day one here, which she almost hit that putt. So we'll see if she can capitalize on this.
Paige also inside of the circle as well. And Kat for her second shot here, lining up a sidearm. Excellent landing. And, I love this lead card footage here because you can see how all 4 of the players are absolutely attacking this hole and this course so very differently.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's pretty cool to
already.
See. Oh, just a little bit short. Again, looking effortless, though, on a super powerful putt. Nice birdie there for Paige Pierce. That feels pretty good. And Paige Bjerkaas here looking to card her birdie 3. Boom.
All right.
That's done.
What a start.
Yeah, birdie to start.
That's going to move her up to 8 under. And this will also be 8 under from Catrina.
And, this is the kind of battle I like to see on starting off. We're going stroke for stroke here. Birdies and pars all day.
Yeah, and that's a good hole for these birdies considering it's playing over par for the tournament.
Looking at the signature hole here, or one of them for the course. It's hole 3, par 3, 265 feet. Slightly downhill, but really it's the hallway of doom. I say that because if you don't hit the perfect shot in disc golf, absolutely straight, you're going to kick right or left by hitting a tree, and it's a dungeon.
It really is. It really punishes the off shot. Catrina here going standstill putter. Unfortunately,
fairly reasonable kick there to be unobstructed.
Yeah, fortunate kick for a early release shot.
Paige Bjerkaas fully trusting the putter. Whoa! Man, at first that looked like an ace run, but really
Beautiful.
It was just a perfect park job.
Absolutely gorgeous. She is
that.
such a good putter thrower. This is why she put her name on the judge.
I love that FollowFlight, and I love looking back and seeing that huge gallery for our U.S. Women's Major. It's so incredibly nice to have that. Paige, same play, lining up her Marshall. And just pulls it a little bit to the strong side. And didn't look like it kicked far, but stayed in the woods.
Kristin up next with her Claymore. She likes this low line
Whoa. Now that was well, that's what I call tree love. A little forward projection and barely into the woods there. I think barely outside of the circle as well. So getting some fortunate kicks there for Kristin. And again, these trees are trying to be really friendly to the ladies' top card here. Hopefully Paige will have a putt there. Looks like just outside of the circle. Yep.
Oh, and for the first half of that flight, it flew so well, but it got a little bit of a late flip there. She's going to find a late tree and find herself just outside the circle.
All right, lining up her third shot, Paige Pierce. And giving it a solid run, but landing safely for a tap out. And for Kristin's birdie here. Oh, so much power. Again, we don't even see her step through. And she's well outside of the circle.
Yeah.
Using all of her legs and solid stroke, you know. Cat giving it a little jumper. Just leaves it a little high and right, so she'll be parked for the tap-in par.
Yeah, it looked like she had to put a lot of angle on it to get around that last tree.
Bjerkaas starting with a turkey. No big deal, just taking 3 strokes off.
What a great start
I know.
to the round. That's, I mean, you actually can't ask for any more. She's got to be feeling good.
And the ladies will be cleaning up here on hole 3. Birdie, couple of pars here, and a bogey for Paige. And even though, you know, Kat's pretty close there, I see her lining up, you know, and trying to focus on that putt. Just something must have been in her head and you know, just wasn't that time. But moving on to hole 4. It is a par 4, 467 feet, all uphill, big wide open field. You're just teeing off from the forest and hoping to land a great distance shot, and then your second shot to hopefully be able to get to the birdie.
Yeah, the initial part of the hole, you have to throw through this gap, and it could be kind of intimidating just seeing those trees so close to the tee pad, but they really don't come into play.
Yeah, it's a little more friendly of teeing off out of the woods.
Paige a little bit low there, looking for a little bit more distance, but you know, this hole does play quite a bit under par, so it's really not a big deal on the drive as long as you can get your second shot close enough.
And Kristin just trusting that awesome blue defender. She has just the right amount of flip up, and she's getting great distance with it.
Catrina now with her D2, looking for a full S flight.
And getting it.
Yeah.
Looking good. It's incredible distance that these ladies are throwing here. I'm motivated every day by my field. And Paige to round things off, opting for the super wide Anheuser. Maybe not quite enough wrist action, but again, we're in a wide open field. You just got to get out there and nail your second shot. So everybody's got equal opportunity here.
Paige from about 220.
And landing it and sticking it, giving herself a birdie look. A lot of these baskets are located on a hillside, so the players have got to understand, you know, exactly how they want their disc angles to be landing on the ground in order to not cut roll or, you know, to stay next to the basket.
Mm-hmm. Kristin here overthrew this upshot the first day, so she's looking to correct, and she does with her harp chip shot. Catrina opting for the same play here with her A2. A little bit shorter than Kristin's, but she's going to be just as close on the front side of the green.
For the birdie, and yes, that feels good, especially after carding that bogey. Paige Pierce taking another stroke off. Same for Kristin. And as you can see, she's now taken a 2-stroke lead early by hole 4. Let's see if Kat can cash in for her birdie. Boom. No problem. 117 awesome Patreon supporters. That's the reason we have this coverage And man, are we stoked about it. I couldn't be more thankful. Ooh, star frame as well at the time that we were talking about our supporters. I mean, all of that just lined up perfectly, really. It's hole 5. It's a par 4. All downhill, 650 feet. As you can see, you've got to get your first shot placed so that you're in a position to attack the green. That opening there into the forest to get to the green is going to be cut off if you're too far right, and you certainly don't want to be too far left into the forest. It's always hard to throw out of there. Paige Bjerkaas putting a lot of right-hand action on that. You can see her, come on, disc, using some body language to get left. And it does get a significant amount left. I think she'll be able to have some sort of a turnover or sidearm upshot.
Yeah, and Kristin landed this one way too right the other day, so I'm guessing her primary objective is to be left today and have a chance to attack this green.
And she executes. Great correction.
Catrina now with that overstable D2. We just saw her throw.
Still getting some of that right-hand turn. It seems to be much more of a headwind here than any other hole, but she does get left enough. I gotta say, if I were the gallery, I might not be standing there.
That is danger zone if you flip one for sure. But same thing with Kristin. I landed way too far to the right, so my mission is get left, be able to see the basket. It makes this approach so much easier. Paige is actually having to go through the trees. Look at that gap.
Whoa.
The only bit of sunlight you could find, she was aiming for it, and I love it.
And I couldn't really tell from the camera angles how that turned out.
It penetrated through the woods a little bit, but not all the way onto the green.
Kristin's second shot leaving her just behind a tree, but inside or at circle's edge.
This is my Marshall here. Slight anhyzer, just letting it skid up to the basket.
And getting it there for the birdie look. It's pretty much stress-free. I mean, you've got yourself about a 15-footer there.
Catrina now having to go through the woods as well if she wants this birdie. But clips a tree and is going to get knocked down.
For a tough stance on the third shot. However, executing that sidearm, getting herself there to clean up a par, hopefully. And Paige's second shot, as you can see, left her in the woods. She just gets herself up there, trying to card the smart par for the birdie, Kristin Tattar.
All right.
Wow.
Big putt. Circle's edge.
Taking her to 14 down early in the round.
Nerves of steel.
Yep.
I mean, just imagine how many nerves are going through. Oh, an unfortunate miss from Kat. She's going to have to settle for bogey here, but just imagine how many nerves are coursing through Kristin as she's in contention for her first major ever. She's in the lead at this moment by 2 strokes. And, 13 holes separate her from a potential huge win.
13 holes that might feel like it's going to last for 13 years. I mean,
Yeah.
You really have to break down and execute, focus, give everything to each individual shot. And now we're getting into the woods. It's hole 6. It's a par 4. 499 feet. Elevation, a little bit of gain, but mostly all lost. The basket is actually located downhill from where the tee pad is. You cannot see the basket. And you've got to pull some moves here to weave through the trees. A lot of the right-handed, backhanded throwers are picking either a slow disc for placement or flipping over a driver on an anhyzer line.
Kristin's going for her St. Pro hyzer flip low. Like that late flip, but unfortunately doesn't get turned enough and is going to hit a late tree and kick slightly left of the center of the fairway. She's not in the rough, though, so she should have an unobstructed second shot.
And actually, you chose a slower speed disc. You chose the Marshall there for more placement. Just pulled it a little right. Ooh, good stop there for Paige Bjerkaas.
She's going with her judge here. Nice and straight.
And placement executed.
Yeah, again, great work on that putter shot.
And Kat has a driver here in her hand, so she's going for it.
Ooh,
giving
over
it the
stable
angle.
S flight down this fairway. This is how you picture it. Oh, almost hit a spectator. I'm glad it wasn't the baby. I'm glad it was the mama.
Yeah.
Don't really have much here, and that branch is kind of in my reach backs in my head.
Gave it some height. Looked like you got some full flight out of it. However, it kind of leaked off to the right a little bit. And you guys can see from the camera how thick these woods are just to even get to the basket. So it's kind of make your tee shot and scramble from there.
Yeah, I was just excited to hit that gap and get out of there. Paige had an open look since she's on the left side of the fairway, but it hits a late tree, kicks down just outside circle 2 into the woods.
Yeah, it's kind of the thick side there to approach the green.
And Kristin now lining up her defender sidearm. Wow.
Nice.
Wow, what an angle. Ooh, a little hot.
Yeah, actually a little strong just outside of the circle. And look at all those kind of little, you know, it's like a hairy little tree branch for it there.
That shot was like too good.
Yeah.
It was so good, but unfortunately he's finding 40 feet behind all that stuff.
And that is just the personality that L'Oreal Park brings into this U.S. Women's Major. Got to have a good scramble rate and a solid mental game to get through these types of holes.
Kat with another beautiful shot.
Just barely at the end of it.
And I was going to say, if she didn't clip that tree, she would have been tree-free on hole 6, the hardest hole in the course. That's a pretty good hole.
I like the tree-free reference, too. I'm gonna go for that hole next season.
I mean, on this hole, look, that's a pretty good hole.
I know.
I was happy to get up there. That was my fell-in little chip skip shot. Paige just trying to get on the green as well. Not really makeable from there, so she's going to sidearm. And Kristin, you got to think she's got to be running this, but can she find a hole?
Oh, not even a hole to be found. You know she would have definitely changed the body position if she could have found a shot.
Yeah, she was behind that one for quite some time looking for a hole. Catrina, good hit, especially after a couple missed putts. This is a huge birdie to pick up. And that one just seemed, you know, brainless.
So casual, so smooth. Yeah, and her back into her routine either way. And then just a little bit of a right side miss there. So
Seemed like the tree kind of obstructed her putt, made her have to go. Oh, no.
What? I don't even believe it when stuff like that happens. It was a great putt, however, just chained out on Paige Bjerkaas. Tattar cleaning up her bogey. And now tap-ins for Paige and Paige. That was a good bogey save. You know, you just kind of have to deal with that scramble. Again, a bogey for Paige Bjerkaas there. So tough hole. Katrina definitely got some mojo, a little bit of a switch of momentum there. Hole number 7, par 3, 394 feet. A hallway of trees, a narrow fairway. It's kind of it's a theme here at L'Oreal Park. It's a great course to have a major at, though. I mean, it's really all about who's on their lines. You've got to throw this one straight. Doesn't matter what disc or what dominant arm or shot you're throwing. You've got to go straight.
Katrina grabbing her M4 here. Oh, little late release. She knew it right away. Turned her body around in disappointment. Late tree, kicking right. But actually, she's going to find the fairway still because there's a short tee pad over there, so it's kind of open.
Oh, yeah. I kind of forgot about the short tee pad alleys.
Yeah. So Kristin, a little bit early out of the hand with the claymore and kicks to the left.
And what disc was this?
Look at this kick. Forget
is the
about the disc.
Marshall.
Look at that kick.
that's-
That is some crazy stuff right there.
That's
And
some
no, I
world
did not
champ
call
love.
it. I did not call it.
We like that. We like to see the good kicks. Oh, hitting the same tree that Kat hits, hoping that hoping that she makes it to that secondary fairway, but I'm not quite sure how that landing turned
Yeah,
out.
it kind of kicked past that secondary fairway, so she's going to have a scramble. Kristin, oh my goodness. I love the intention there. A little bit more pop on that wrist, and she's going to be sailing it right down the gap, but she's still finding herself on the green.
Yeah, just outside of the circle there. Oh, Paige lining up the Annie shot to weave around the trees, just kicking early, not advancing very far up the fairway.
Catrina with her signature edition, PA1 here. Late tree, she's going to find herself about 50 feet short.
And with a putter upshot here, just trying to play safe and get to the green.
Good shot. Honestly, just a little bit hot.
A little strong.
She's going to find an outside the circle putt on the backside.
And this green definitely slopes down into, I don't think it's OB. It's just not a place you want to find yourself if you roll down the hill, or you'll be obstructed by a tree wall.
And Kristin hit a huge one on this on Friday. Let's see if she can hit another one here. Ooh.
Not quite, but lands safely. There's no roll away.
And this is the look I was left with after that shot. I couldn't believe it, but bonus birdie, I will take it.
Absolutely.
Happily.
Absolutely. And that's a big momentum, boost for you after coming off of a bogey. It's always great to card a birdie.
I like the commitment. She had to get close to that tree if she wanted to make that putt. She leaves herself a circle's edge putt now.
Oh, and even, maintaining stance and kind of like having her body weight forward, sneaks into the basket. She did card the bogey, but she's happy to get in on that putt.
Absolutely.
And a bogey for Kristin as well. And this is tying up our leaderboard for the top spot at 12 down. A bogey for Kat there.
Yeah, 7 holes into the final round. It's getting exciting.
Hole 8. It's a par 4, 404 feet. Again, you can't see the basket from the tee pad. You know that you've got to get around the corner, having a disc turning to the right-hand trajectory, and then you've got a right side or left side of the fairway you have to choose to attack the green. There's trees everywhere. You've got to pick your line and hit it. And at this point, we know that we have Rebecca Cox on a chase card, carding quite a few birdies, trying to fight her way up to the podium.
Yeah, as is Sarah Hokum. They are right in front of us. We can hear the gallery cheering. We're checking U-Disc. I unfortunately hit an early tree and kicked way right, but the basket does go to the right, so maybe not the worst kick. Katrina's kick will leave her left, and it looks pretty tight over there.
Yeah, anything but left off the tee here. It's definitely the hardest place to find yourself. I know I've been over there.
Oh, and Kristin, great shot with the St. Pro, but she hits that late root and stops her forward progress. She did mention that she wanted it to be way higher to try to glide around that corner, but she's still finding herself in the fairway in good position to attack for a birdie.
A little early release there for Paige off the tee, kicking her pretty far left, so hopefully she can find herself on the fairway here. And she advances pretty well. Maybe just a little obstruction with the trees, but she did get up there.
It's my moonshine deputy just stepping out, trying to get that late glide over with an understable throwing putter.
And Kat actually had a pretty nice look to get up the fairway there, which is extremely fortunate for being on that left-hand side.
Yeah,
she
it is.
Gets herself into the circle. Tough stance here for Paige. Got to get around these trees. And getting her just up to the circle's edge for her par putt. Second shot here for Kristin. Just hoping to get herself nicely under the basket. You can tell with the height she's absolutely executing the plan.
Bullseye birdies.
I just dream about those.
So this is to get the birdie after a bad drive.
And hit a little bit of foliage right up above you.
I would have liked to see that one if I didn't hit it. I thought it had a chance.
And Paige running it, just missing high right, but lands safely behind the basket.
And Katrina from pin high, just outside the circle.
For birdie. Oh, just on the edge and doesn't roll away too far. Tapping out for her par, Catrina Allen. And Paige, I believe this will be for her bogey.
Looks to be about 14 feet.
Yes, stay in there.
All right.
Good putter. And a bogey never feels good, but making that putt, you've got to remember you did make it. It didn't get any worse. You didn't cause any extra damage. You got to move on.
Yep.
And Paige with her par, and Kristin stress-free completely birdie.
To take the lead back going into hole 8.
Oof. Look at this leaderboard. Tattar at 13 down, Paige 12 down, and we have a tie with Rebecca Cox and Sarah Hokum at 7.
Yeah, and Rebecca is birdieing 3 holes on the front 9, no bogeys. Hokum's got 2 of the birdies on the front 9, also no bogeys, and they're making a move from chase and third card, and it's pretty exciting.
This is intense. Coming into our final hole here, 9. It's a par 3, 305 feet. You cannot see the basket from the tee. You know that you need to throw something as straight as possible with just a tiny bit of fade to get in there for the birdie.
Yeah, this one is one you really want to get, or at least get a putt at. We're running out of birdie holes out at this course, and with a major title in our sights, we need every birdie we can get. Kristin's got her Claymore now. This is an understable mid-range, so look how much hyzer she's putting on it to flip it up to flat. This is such a beautifully thrown shot. Unfortunately, a little too high, and it's going to drift down the hill on the pin high side.
But just outside of the circle,
yeah.
Still fought through. Inside. Little bit of early, but again, if that is unobstructed by trees, yeah, same idea, just outside of the circle, uphill putt.
Yeah, there is an early gap if you miss your line, but it's not the intended gap, I would say.
And there's
Catrina.
Yes.
Look at that hyzer flip to flat. Ooh, and a great kick.
Beautiful shot.
Lots of action.
Some love. Yeah, a little tree love there. She's parked for the birdie attempt.
Yeah, she still had quite a bit of spin when that disc hit the ground. You could see why it got so much action. Paige is clubbing down to a putter to avoid that ground play, but she's going to kick just outside the circle on the right side.
For the birdie, Paige Pierce. Gave it all of a chance, you know. I mean, going directly over the center of the basket means you were on line. You're just strong there. And just a little bit low, hitting the cage for her 2 bid. Here's Kristin, just outside of the circle. Tiny step through.
And you know, that's a big putt right there. The basket was a little bit higher than her. She had to kind of put it up, and she already kind of has a nose-up putt. So making it hit high on the chains is, you know, they don't really catch that often like that.
Right. And carding the par for Paige Pierce. Kristin looking to clean up as well. Yep, there's the 3.
And you got to think Kristin's pretty excited to not lose a stroke after that when we're all putting for birdie. None of us can connect. We're trying to jump into this back 9, hit some more putts, make some exciting action go down on the final 9 holes of the final major of the year. You guys, please subscribe. Stay tuned because the back 9 is coming right up and it's going to be exciting.
With only 1 stroke lead for Kristin Tattar, please join us for the action in the back 9.